Welcome to BD Daily Tech News Podcast, your daily briefing on tech and innovation. It's 2025, December 25th, and today's theme is, the AI boom is still booming, but the bottlenecks are getting weirdly specific.
Merry Christmas to everyone except my laptop fan, which is currently doing CrossFit because one browser tab decided it's an AI data center now.
3 stories today. 1. Nvidia signs a licensing deal with Groq and hires Groq CEO. 2. Intel shares wobble on reports Nvidia may pause chip-making tests tied to Intel's manufacturing process. 3. Waymo explains why robotaxis got stuck during a San Francisco blackout, while also testing Gemini as an in-car assistant.
So it's Christmas, and Santa brought us contracts, manufacturing drama, and robot cars that are like, sorry, the city turned off. I'm shy. Let's go.
Story 1. Multiple outlets report Nvidia reached a technology licensing deal with AI chip challenger Groq, and Nvidia will hire Groq's CEO. In plain terms, Nvidia isn't just competing with challengers, it's collecting their best ideas and leadership.
This is like the final boss walking into the indie arcade, buying the joystick patent, and hiring the person who knows where the secret levels are.
Here's the simple version of the tech behind it. Groq has been known for building hardware and systems optimized for fast AI inference, getting answers out of models quickly. Think of training as building the brain, and inference as using the brain all day, at scale, under deadlines.
So training is the gym montage, and inference is the part where you have to carry groceries up 4 flights without complaining. That's where everyone actually lives.
Why licensing matters? You don't need to buy the whole company to absorb a key technique. Licensing can let Nvidia fold specific architecture or software ideas into its own roadmap faster than reinventing it, and without waiting for a full merger to clear every hurdle.
We're not adopting your whole personality, just your best habits, which is also how I approach New Year's resolutions.
Why it matters to normal people and developers. If Nvidia strengthens inference efficiency, that can eventually lower the cost per AI request. That shows up as cheaper subscriptions, faster assistance, and more AI features that don't melt your battery or your cloud bill.
And it matters to your group chat because the make me a perfect itinerary friend can finally stop sending you an AI response that takes so long you've already missed the flight.
One more angle. Hiring Groq's CEO is a signal that Nvidia values not just IP, but operational know-how, how to ship, position, and scale a rival approach. The AI chip fight isn't only silicon, it's supply chain, developer tooling, and ecosystem gravity.
Ecosystem gravity is real. Once you've installed the CUDA toolkit, it's like adopting a cat. You don't just switch. The cat owns the house now.
Story 2. Bloomberg reports Intel shares fell after reports that Nvidia may be hitting pause on testing Intel's chip production process. This is less about a single product and more about a manufacturing confidence check. Can Intel's process reliably make what Nvidia needs at the yields Nvidia needs?
So this is like Nvidia taste testing Intel's cooking and going, and maybe order something else. That's not a great Yelp review.
Simple version of the tech, chip making isn't just designing a chip. It's translating that design into a repeatable physical process, hundreds of steps, where tiny variations can ruin performance or power efficiency. Testing a foundry process is like qualifying a new airport runway. You don't just land once. You land in bad weather, at night, repeatedly.
And if the runway is a little bumpy, your luggage arrives 3 days later and your AI model starts hallucinating in baggage claim.
Why it matters: if Nvidia slows or pauses validation, Intel's foundry ambitions take a credibility hit. For the rest of us, this affects the pace of competition in advanced manufacturing. More viable foundries could mean better pricing and resilience. Fewer viable foundries means the entire industry queues behind the same doors.
I want more foundries the way I want more grocery stores. If there's only one, you pay $12 for eggs, and they're locked behind glass like luxury handbags.
Actionable takeaway for builders. Design your infrastructure so you can shift compute when supply tightens, multi-cloud where possible, model optimization to reduce inference load, and realistic capacity planning. Hardware cycles can change faster than your product roadmap if validation slips.
Yes, everyone wants future-proof, but the future is messy. Your plan can't be, we'll just get more GPUs. That's like saying, if rent goes up, I'll simply buy another apartment.
Story 3. Waymo explained why its robotaxis got stuck during the San Francisco blackout, and the company also said its robotaxis navigated more than 7,000 dark stoplights successfully. Separately, reports say Waymo is testing Gemini as an in-car AI assistant in its robotaxis.
I love that the robot car's resume is like, handled 7,000 unlit intersections, and then there's a gap. Got stuck that one time when the city did a surprise escape room.
Simple version of the tech. Self-driving systems rely on sensors, plus maps, plus rules about how the world should behave. A blackout breaks assumptions. Signals go dark, patterns change, and you need a safe fallback. If the system can't confidently predict what happens next, the safest choice can be to stop.
So the robotaxi is basically a very cautious friend, the one who sees a weird vibe and goes, nope, we're staying in, we're making tea.
Why it matters for normal people. Reliability is the product. You don't care that it handled 7,000 dark stoplights if it blocks traffic for 20 minutes in the one moment you're late for the airport. Edge cases are where public trust is won or lost.
Exactly. Humans are allowed one blackout meltdown a year. Machines get 0. The bar is be perfect, quietly, forever. No pressure.
Now, the Gemini in-car assistant test. The idea is an AI that can answer questions, help with certain in-cabin controls, and generally make the ride feel less like sitting in a silent appliance. But it also introduces a new risk surface: misinformation, distraction, and unclear responsibility if the assistant says something wrong.
I'm sorry, but an AI assistant inside a robotaxi is one step away from the car pitching me premium features. For just $9.99 a month, I can also validate your feelings at stoplights.
Actionable angle. If you're building AI assistants in safety-adjacent contexts, you need hard boundaries: what it can control, what it can't, and what it must refuse. The assistant should never sound more confident than the system's certainty, especially when the environment is degraded, like during a blackout.
Yes, I want the assistant to say, I don't know, more often. The most terrifying sentence in tech is, I'm pretty sure.
Quick recap. Nvidia's Groq licensing deal plus a CEO hire signals the competition is shifting from pure hardware to capture of techniques and talent. Reports of a pause in testing tied to Intel's process underline that manufacturing validation is still a choke point. And Waymo's blackout performance shows autonomy is about graceful failure. And now, in-car assistants add a new layer of responsibility.
And if you learned anything today, it's that the future runs on 2 things: clean room yield rates and whether a robot car can handle vibes when the lights go out.
If you want more episodes like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. Comment with your prediction. Does 2026 bring more specialized AI chips or more consolidation under the biggest platforms? We'll be back with the next briefing.
And if your robotaxi ever says, let me just run an update, you get out and you walk. Merry Christmas. See you next time.